get the job. I mean, she was intelligent. She did her job well. She was hardworking. She would work round the clock. You know, she just wasn't one of those people that sits and is gisting with everybody and everybody knows her. You know, but the truth of the matter is that in today's world, in order to stand out, in order to be visible, in order to achieve the career progression that you want, you have to be visible. And it's not just enough to be good at your job. I mean, that is the basic. Most people in organizations, at the point when you're being recruited into the organization, it is expected that you will be able to do your job. And so being able to do your job is no longer a prerequisite for growth. So why? That takes us into why we need visibility. And so I looked at a dictionary and I wanted to find out what is the definition of visibility. And the one I liked the most was the state of being able to see or be seen. Visibility is the state of being able to see yourself or to be seen. And so it's the degree to which something has attracted attention or prominence. And I tell you, in today's volatile economy, where people are losing their jobs very easily, it's important that you achieve some level of visibility or prominence in order to move up the corporate ladder. And so why? Why do we need to be visible? We need to be visible to keep our jobs, really. Because in the not too distant past, there was an economic downturn in the country. I'm not even sure we're out of it yet. Some organizations actually had to downsize. When they're drawing up that list of people who will be let go of, will your name be on that list? What have you done to ensure that your name is not on that list? That's what we're talking about here. You need to be visible, so at the point when your organization is thinking about letting people go, your name will be the last on that list. Visibility puts you in the ears of people who can become advocates for you. And who is an advocate? An advocate is someone who speaks positively or pushes your cause even when you're not there. And if you're not visible, you're not going to have any advocates. You're not going to have any cheerleaders. You're not going to have that one person that looks at that list of people to be downsized and they say, oh no, Chinyere cannot be on that list. That's what you want to hear, and it comes from being visible. Being visible also increases your skill sets, because if you're visible, you'll get to do more and you acquire extra skills than if you were just focused on only your core responsibility. And so today, in the little time we have left, which is, wow, about 50 minutes, is it, or less? My math is terrible. I'm going to take you through 10 ways to be visible in the workplace. Now, who has heard about dressing or your appearance being one of the first things a person uses to judge you? If you understand what I'm talking about, give me some hearts. Please give me some hearts. The first impression a person has of you is usually a lasting one. And therefore, it's so important that in your workplace, you are groomed well, you dress well to the best of your ability, and you get noticed. There's something called the halo effect. And the halo effect basically says that the positive impression of a person in one area influences the opinion you have of them in another area. And that is really interesting. For example, if we were to take all those movie stars, musicians, and co., because we feel positively warm and fuzzy and like their music or like their acting, we give them the benefit of the doubt more often than not. And so the impression we have about them in other areas of their life is usually positive, I guess, until proven otherwise. And so in the workplace, the way you look matters. And I'm not talking about makeup. And I'm not talking about wearing the most expensive clothes. I'm talking about being well groomed within your means. That means if you're a woman, you take care of your hair, you take care of your nails, you take care of your clothes, such that when you enter a room, people turn around and it's like you can see those appreciative nods, isn't it? So I always say that in an organization, if you're gunning for a particular role, you should dress for the role that you want to have and not really the role that you have today. So if you want to become a manager at some point in your organization, look at the managers already existing in the firm and dress like they dress. In fact, this leads me to a story that I had one day, something that happened to me some years ago in my organization. As a law firm, we employ both lawyers and non-lawyers. And our non-lawyers, we call them paralegals. So it's this new guy that we had employed. I mean, I didn't have anything to do with the employment or recruitment department. But I kept seeing this guy in a nice suit and a tie. He was a large, imposing guy. And each time I see him, I'm like, okay, we have a new lawyer, And eventually, when I got to the management meeting, I kind of said, so that new lawyer that I keep seeing around, he's tall, he's this. They say he's not a lawyer. He's a paralegal. He's not a lawyer. I said, wow, he really, really dresses smart. There must be something extra about him. So please, guys, number one is dress for the role that you want and not the role that you have. The second way to achieve visibility in the workplace is to speak up when you have those meetings. You can imagine Sarah, who we heard about her story. Would Sarah open her mouth if she entered a meeting? Definitely not. Sarah is the kind of person who she will get into the meeting and then she will sit quietly and listen to what everybody else has to say, but not contribute. Do you know anybody like that in your own organization, or are you like that yourself? Tell me, I'd like to know. Are you like that? Do you know anybody like that? Shy. Yes, very shy people. Speak up in meetings. Your demeanor, people are watching even though